When people think of Alaska, they think of vast expanses of forest and mountains, and they think of the sizable animals that inhabit them. Most notably, the grizzly bear. Every year, thousands of people visit Denali National Park and Preserve in hopes of sighting these famously monstrous creatures. And every year, there is an incident between a bear and a person who got too close. These incidents have consequences, not only for the people involved, but the bears as well. To prevent such incidents, Denali Park Rangers have been using adversative conditioning tactics to train the bears to keep away from humans and the smell of their food. Some of these tactics, if not implemented correctly, can injure or kill the bears. While these tactics have been effective over the years, they call into question the ethics of conditioning bears in their natural environment on land where they are meant to be protected and preserved. Human and grizzly bear interactions grew rampant in 1982, when Denali National Park had the highest rate of incidents of any national park in the country. These incidents resulted in the relocation or destruction of 48 bears. In an attempt to lessen the frequency of these incidents, Denali National Park implemented their Bear-Human Conflict Management Plan, a document of 156 pages. A majority of this plan discusses educating visitors and park rangers about bear safety. It implements specific bear-proof food containment protocols and also describes an adversative conditioning program for the bears. The intent of the adversative conditioning is to get the bears to associate the presence of people with pain or fear, deterring them from going near areas where people are camping or hiking. In order to implement this plan, the use of firearms and other negative reinforcement tools are used to scare or mildly injure the bears. These tools include 12-gauge shotguns loaded with rubber bullets or beanbags, cracker shells which explode causing a loud noise, shock collars, pepper spray, as well as electric tents. Park rangers will set up a campsite and cook food for long periods of time to attract the bears. When one arrives, the rangers will use a 12-gauge shotgun loaded with a rubber bullet and shoot the bear in the rump or shoulder area. This will cause the bear to feel an intense stinging pain, but no serious injury, much like getting hit with a baseball thrown by a major league pitcher. However, if the ranger misses their target and hits the bear somewhere other than their rump or shoulder, the bear could be seriously injured or even killed. Only rangers that have been highly trained are selected to condition the bears. Deterring bears from entering campsites is only one part of their conditioning. Bears that are spotted too close to the road that transects the parkway are scared away, either by being shot at with rubber bullets or cracker rounds. These negative reinforcement encounters are training the bears to avoid any and all human presence. This limits their ability to roam freely throughout the park, their home. The conditioning is also limiting the opportunities for park visitors to observe the bears in their natural habitat from a safe distance. Grizzly bears have roamed the Alaskan wilderness for much longer than Denali National Park has been established. The park ensures the bears' protection from poachers and other human threats. The 6 million acres that the park is comprised of is their home. Wilderness is defined as an area where the earth and community of life are untrammeled by man, where man himself is a visitor who does not remain. It is meant to be preserved in its natural state. This definition can be applied to the wildlife that lives and thrives in these wilderness areas. Conditioning these bears is an alteration of the wilderness itself. A conditioned bear is no longer a wild bear, just as wilderness altered by humans is no longer truly wilderness. Unfortunately, there will always be interactions between humans and grizzly bears, and limiting these interactions is a necessity for both human and bear safety alike. Adversative conditioning is a necessity used to mitigate the negative interactions between humans and bears. If a bear is unresponsive to conditioning, it may be relocated to a different area of the park. But if this does not work, and the bear has to be relocated multiple times, the bear must be destroyed. The Bear Management Plan outlines the protocol for destroying a bear after all other resources have been exhausted. It states, when possible, bears identified for destruction will be chemically immobilized and shot in the head with a 12-gauge slug or large caliber pistol to ensure a quick death. A bear will only be shot while free roaming in cases where its presence is an immediate threat to human safety. Ultimately, we cannot prevent people from venturing out into the wilderness, where they may run into the wild animals that occupy it. The best solution is to continue to educate these wilderness explorers on the proper way to handle a run-in with a grizzly bear. This will limit the number of serious incidents and prevent the destruction of the animal. These bears are only destroyed when all other resources have been exhausted. This includes attempts to condition or relocate the animal. At the end of the day, even a conditioned bear could cause harm if it is provoked. Conditioning humans not to get too close to wild animals is equally as important as conditioning wild animals not to get too close to humans.